So by now, you've watched a few races, starting to get the hang of it, maybe tapped in with NASCAR social media a little bit, and you seeing that we lost one of our own. You don't know who this person is. You're still learning it. You just got here, right? You're thinking to yourself, well, who is this person? What did he do? What makes him so special? Let me tell you about Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is one of the best and most dominant NASCAR drivers ever. He had a 24-year NASCAR career. And this man was so good, they changed rules because of him. Not just one, but multiple. Kyle Busch got his first start in NASCAR in the Craftsman Truck Series at 16 years old. Now, there's some conversations of whether or not he lied about his age, but he was 16 years old when he got his first start in the Craftsman Truck Series. And he was so unreasonably good at such an unreasonably young age that NASCAR changed the rules so you cannot run in NASCAR at 16 years old. They literally made an age limit rule for this man, teenager at the time, because they didn't want a 16, 17-year-old kid whooping up on veterans. That's how good Kyle Busch was even back then. Throughout his NASCAR Cup Series career, he most famously drove the number 18 car for Joe Gibbs Racing, for the most part sponsored by M&M, with a few other sponsors sprinkled in here and there. He also drove the number 5 car for Hendrick Motorsports to start his NASCAR Cup Series career, and then most recently driving the number 8 car for Richard Childress Racing. In NASCAR's lower series, he also ran an array of numbers from 7 to 18, 51, 54 for an array of teams, including Joe Gibbs Racing, Spire Motorsports, and his own Kyle Busch Motorsports. You want to know how unreal Kyle Busch was? His nickname, Rowdy, comes from a fictional character in a movie about NASCAR called Days of Thunder. He leaned into this rowdy persona so much that when he started his own Kyle Busch Motorsports, he ran the same number 51 that the character in the movie did. Now, as with many teams across all sports, when you win too much, people tend to not like it. They try to villainize you and make you the bad guy. When I tell you that nobody leaned into being the villain or the villain persona as well as Kyle Busch did, let me tell you, Kyle Busch loved portraying the villain. He would get out and he would taunt opposing drivers. He would playfully taunt opposing fans. There are memes and videos of him fake crying, and he even patented his celebration where every time he won, he would get out the car at that point to the entire crowd that wasn't Kyle Busch fans booing him, and he would take a bow in front of everybody. And as time went on, that became his celebration, even as he went on to other teams like Richard Childress Racing after he left Joe Gibbs and kind of became a fan favorite all over again. He still continued to take his bow. Now, while he was 100% the villain on the track, and he loved to be that, he was still a great guy off the track. He loved his Rowdy Nation fans, and I remember a few years ago, I was at a race at Dover Motor Speedway, and as an adult, one thing I love to do when I have access to celebrities or athletes, race car drivers, what have you, one thing I always try to do is I try to help any little kids that may be near me to get autographs or pictures with that, celebrity, athlete, because I remember being that little kid, and I remember how much it meant to me to be able to have that moment to get an autograph or get a picture. And this particular time, I had garage and pit access, and the drivers are leaving their drivers meeting as they do and walking through the kind of autograph alley or autograph lane. It's just a line of fans on your way to the racetrack, basically. Some guys don't stop and sign at all. Some guys stop and sign very sparingly. Some guys try to hit as many fans as they can. This particular time, there was a little kid standing right next to me, decked out head to toe in Kyle Busch gear. I had never seen or met this kid a day in my life, but I saw him and I said, "Yo, I'm gonna get you Kyle Busch's autograph today," because I could tell, I knew how much that would mean to that kid. And the drivers come out. This particular day, Kyle Busch had on a light blue fire suit. He's walking, and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs to get his attention to sign for this kid next to me. He passes by the kid, and walks over to across from where we are and signs for another kid and his father. But he's still within earshot of me and the kid next to me. And the kid kind of is disappointed, and he looks up to his mom because apparently this wasn't the first time he had tried to get Kyle's autograph and couldn't. And he says to his mom in a very upset and disappointed tone, like, "Mom, I missed him again. Like, I'm never gonna get to meet him." And Kyle heard it. He stopped with his back to the kid, turned around, came back and signed the kid's hat and his garage pass. And the look on this kid's face when he's standing face to face with his idol, his favorite driver, that probably made that kid's week. Now, that was a few years ago. That kid may be a teenager now, I don't know. But he probably willing to bet that kid still has those things and is feeling many of the same feelings that we're all feeling today in regards to Kyle Busch passing away. But just to tell that story, like, Kyle Busch was the villain to the people he competed against. But to the people rooting for him, he had so much love and passion for these people. It was insane. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, well, Breeze, he sounds like a great guy, but you said he was one of the most dominant drivers ever. And he was. In his NASCAR Cup Series career, Kyle Busch totaled 63 points racing wins, which puts him at ninth most all time, in addition to a few more exhibition race wins that don't count toward his all-time total. But also, Kyle Busch totaled 102 O'Reilly Auto Parts Series wins, which throughout his career was also known as the Busch Series, the Nationwide Series, and the Xfinity Series. But to show you how dominant he was in that series, the person who is second all time is Mark Martin. He has 49 wins. Mark Martin has been retired for like 15, 20 years at this point. Nobody is going to come close to tying or surpassing Kyle Busch's 102 wins in the NASCAR Rowdy Auto Parts Series. But third, Kyle Busch has 69 wins in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. The last win was a week ago. The person second to him is Ron Hornaday with 51. Kyle Busch has a career total in NASCAR's top 3 series of 234 victories combined. That is the most all time. When I tell you this man was the most dominant driver, certainly of a generation, but maybe ever, Kyle Busch was the best driver of an era. Kyle Busch was Dale Earnhardt to the generation that came after Dale Earnhardt. So when I tell you this man was one of the baddest badasses to ever strap himself into a race car, it's not an exaggeration. It's not hyperbole. Kyle Busch was him. To put it into terms that my new NASCAR people or my non-NASCAR people will understand, losing Kyle Busch to the NASCAR world feels like losing Kobe Bryant all over again. That's how dominant he was. That's how good he was. That's how impactful Kyle Busch was. So to lose someone, especially in the unexpected fashion in which we lost him, who was that dominant, that good, that impactful, it hurts. I saw Kyle Busch with my own eyes in person on Sunday. I watched him win a NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race a week ago. And he made the comment of, as eerie as it sounds now, you never know when your last one is going to be. So now knowing that was his last one, it hurts. We are all in the NASCAR community and the NASCAR family hurting today. But if I know NASCAR like I know NASCAR, they are going to race this weekend, and they should. And to whoever wins the Truck Series race today, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race tomorrow, and most certainly the Coke 600 on Sunday for the NASCAR Cup Series. When you cross the start-finish line and come back around, burn the tires off your vehicle, off your truck, off your car. When you get out of that car, go to the flag stand, take that checkered flag, and take the biggest bow you have ever taken, and do it for Kyle Busch. So now that you know who Kyle Busch is, enjoy the races this weekend. NASCAR family, we need it. I love y'all. And until next time, gone. I need y'all to bear with me with this one. To his wife Samantha, his son Brexton, his daughter Lennox, his brother Kyle, and the rest of the Busch family, my thoughts and prayers go out to you. to everybody at Richard Childress Racing, Joe Gibbs Racing, Spire Motorsports, formerly Kyle Busch Motorsports employees. My thoughts and prayers go out to you. To his diehard fans, effectively known as Rowdy Nation, to everyone within NASCAR, the NASCAR community, and the extended NASCAR family of which I am a member. My thoughts and prayers go out to all of you. This is a very tragic, obviously dark and difficult time for all of us. I'm even struggling to get through this. Kyle was a very passionate, polarizing, and sometimes misunderstood figure within NASCAR. To fans and competitors alike, you either loved him or you hated him, but everybody respected him. One thing I do know, Kyle loved the sport. He loved his fans. And most importantly, I've seen it with my own eyes, but he loved his family. I saw someone say that Kyle isn't gone. He's just, excuse me, he's just a lap ahead of us now. And if you've ever seen Kyle Busch kick ass on the racetrack, you know that's a fitting description. To Rowdy, the last time we saw you kick ass on the racetrack, burn it down and take your bow, we didn't know it was going to be your final one. But after seeing all the love that's come in from fans, family, friends, competitors, rivals, even people who didn't watch NASCAR, I think we can all agree that you earned the victory lap.